Hi folks, I created a reading tracker template on Notion similar to the one I'm using now, and this template is the one I'm sharing with you. It's a simplified version of mine. So here we have a brief overview. At the beginning we have these boxes with information about me, but you can delete these boxes here. Everything can be deleted, and the template itself begins with the section General, where you have 3 pages, one with your list of tasks to accomplish, and it's simple checkbox which you can check here, and you can write here your task. Then we have a page for thematic lists, reading lists. So we have a table, and with the topic, the reading project the topic is related to or not, the reading events the topic is related to, the total books to read for each topic, the books you finished, your progress. This is a formula, so you don't have to write anything here, and the related books. And if you go back here to the topic, it is a page which you can open, and you have the title, and here you add the reading project, the events, the total of books to read, the number of books you finished, and here at the bottom the list of books corresponding to the topic, and you can check the boxes as you read the books. Pretty simple. Then you go back to our main page. We also have a page with a table of things to read to learn, for instance essays, but also podcast episodes, articles, Wikipedia entries, and so on and so forth. And you can link, put the title of the essay, the blog post, or whatever here, the author, the status, if you still have to read it, or is reading it, or has read it, and then the link to the corresponding article or podcast episode or video or whatever you want to use to learn. So here at the right you have a calendar. If you use Google Calendar, you can put it here, otherwise you can list some important dates. Here at this side you have a table of the books you are currently reading, and you see this is just a different view of your main database. On your main database you have a list of books, and here you view only the books from these lists which you are currently reading. So you see you have a filter here, and the status is currently reading. Here you have your TBR. Also, it's a different view of the same database, in which you can see the books you are going to read in a corresponding month, and each month you have to change this information here and choose your TBR accordingly. And finally you have the books you read in a corresponding month, and here this is also a different view of your main database, and you just filter the information here. Each month you can change here the date of the start and the end. So this has to be done manually. On the right side here you have your events, reading events, and you can add new ones here. The title of the event, the logo, the image, the person who is hosting in the event, a link to your video or this person's video, the date the event is happening, whether you completed it, the number of books you are going to read for this event, and here you have a formula which gives you your progress, the number of books finished here is also automatically done according to your main database. The books related to this event and the thematic lists related to this event as well. And here I gave you some examples of reading events so that you have an idea how it happens. We also have reading projects. You can add new projects here. Same thing, similar to the events. And here is just an example of project so that you can have an idea how it works. Then you have a table with review copies you received. This table is also a different view of your main database, your list of books, in which you only see your review copies and you see whether you read them and whether you wrote about them. And finally, you have your wish list, also a different view of your main database, in which you can see the books added to your wish list. And here at the bottom we have the main database, which is this one here, books. I'll click on it and you have a table where you can add all the books you were going to read, you were reading, or you already read. I'll just delete this because I'm not adding any new books. And you have a series of columns here with the information about such books, and you can move the columns or delete the columns. I'll just click here on a random book so that you have an idea. Here you can add the cover of the book, then whether you read, it's to be read, currently reading, read, DNF, reread, or to reread, the status, the author, the genre, and you can add multiple genres, the number of pages of the book, the date you started reading it, the date you finished, whether it is an ebook, audiobook, hardcover, or paperback, the source, whether it's a subscription like Scribd or Kindle Unlimited, or the book was already on your TBR, or you bought the book, book from the library, review copy, Liru free library, borrowed from a friend, or a gift. You can always add more categories here. Whether the book was listed in some of your thematic lists from the page I showed you earlier, the rating, whether you wrote about the book, how much it costs, if you bought the book, the country the author comes from, the date you acquired the book, the gender of the author, money you saved. Let's say you bought the book second hand, or you read a book from your library so that you don't have to buy the book anymore, so you can put it here, the money you saved, the month you were going to read the book or read the book, projects, how you purchased the book, online, new, second hand, on the store, it is a subscription, library sale, yard sale, digital. You can put it here, and you can always change the categories, the reading events, the year you read the book, whether it's related to other books you want to put here, whether you unhauled the book, whether you put it on your wish list. Let's say you read a book from your library and you want to buy it, so you can click here to remember. The year the book was published, the year you acquired the book. Here it's a formula, it's automatically, you have this information automatically here. The year you read is also automatically, you don't have to manually put it here. So you can mark whether the cover, you like the cover, it's one of your favorites. You can also link to your blog posts or to the Goodreads page of the book and the year you added the book to your TBR. You can put it here so that we have the stats about your TBR. Also, the main database, you can have different ways of seeing the information on your database. So for instance, if I created some views here, you can delete them and create new views here. For example, you can only you want to see the review copies you received, you click here, or you only want to see the books you read in 2021, you can click here, or the books you bought in 2021, the books you acquired, that means you are given, bought, or received a review copy. You want to see, I don't know, books you read from the library, it's here, and so on and so forth. Notion allows you to be very flexible in creating the ways you want to see the information you have on your database. So that's your main database where the party happens. So let's go back to our front page, and we also have a reading stats database. Here you don't have to change anything, so this table is linked to your main database so that this information will automatically appear here. So for each year you have the number of books read according to your main database, the number of books you reviewed, your average rating, your number of pages read, countries you read, genres you read, events you completed, projects you completed, the books you finished, the projects you planned, and the events you planned. And you can always add new years here. Let's say you want to put all the information of your previous reading years, you can do it here. Let's go back to our main page. Finally, we have a database about your TBR stats. These you have to do manually. Each year you add the number of books on your TBR at the start of the year, then your TBR goal. Let's say you have 100 books on your TBR at the start of the year and you have a goal to have only 50 books on your TBR. You put the number here. The number of books you read that year. Here this information will be given automatically, the number of books acquired in a given year. Here you have to put the number of books you read from your TBR. For instance, if you've read books from the library, they are now not counted here, only the books you read from your TBR. The books you unhauled, the money you spent on books, this information will also be automatically here, as well as the money you saved. You can add the number of books you added on your wish list and your current TBR. And then here you have all the books you bought or borrowed in a given year. So this is more or less how you control your TBR. Coming back to your main page, we also have sub pages here for your reading projects. And here is a gallery view, but you can also see it as a table. And we also have a sub page for your reading events. Same thing. Oops. You can go here and see as a table or as a timeline or in a calendar. Pretty straightforward, and you can always add new events here, but I will just delete it because I don't want to create new events here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. If you have any questions on how to use this template, just reach out to me on my social media. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram or on my blog, naturally. That's it. I hope you enjoy, and I see you later. Bye bye.